Good morning friends. So today I will discuss from factors related to attention from the chapter cognitive process. So factors related to attention, there are external factors and internal factors. External factors, these are called the objective factors. Number 1 is size. Size has effect on attention. Very big or small size draw attention. For example, a Lilliputian. Number 2 is intensity. Loud sound, strong smells, deep colors are attractive in nature. Number 3 is movement. Moving things draws our attention. Number 4 is contrast. Anything that is different from its surrounding is contrast. So these are the external factors of attention. Next, I am coming to span of attention. Attention span is the amount of time spent concentrating on a task before becoming distracted. Distractibility occurs when attention is uncontrollably diverted to another activity or sensation. Most educators and psychologists agree that the ability to focus and sustain attention is crucial for a person to achieve their goals. Next, I am coming to alteration in attention or distraction. It is the changes in the forms, modes and quality of the attention paid to a stimulus. Kind of stimulus which distract our attention from the objects which we are focusing. So according to the kind of stimulus, what kind of stimulus we are giving, according to that our distraction will be occur. A distractor may be defined as any stimulus whose presence interferes with the process of attention. For example, sound of music played on street disturbs attention of the student in a classroom. Next, I am coming to perception. This is also coming under the cognitive process. So we completed attention and we coming to perception. So what is the meaning of perception? It refers to the way we try to understand the world around us. Next definition. It is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impression in order to give meaning to their environment. So this is the definition of perception. So perception also is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impression. Next I am coming to the principle of perception. First is the principles of figure-ground relationship. Number 2, principles of closure. Number 3, principles of grouping. Number 4, principles of simplicity. Next, principle of contour, principle of context, principle of contrast, principle of adaptability. Next I am coming to principles of figure-ground relationship. According to figure-ground relationship, a figure is perceived in relation to its background. Previously also I told about the contrast. According to the background we will perceive something. The perception of the object or figure in terms of color, size, shape depends upon the figure-ground relationship. Next principle is principle of closure. This type of organization is helpful in interpreting various incomplete objects, patterns or stimuli present in our environment. Means some pattern or some ink blots, how closer the total picture is, how closer the part point is, according to that According to that closeness, we will interpret the picture. Okay. Principles of grouping. It refers to a tendency to perceive stimuli in some meaningful patterns by grouping them on some solid basis like similarity, proximity, continuity, etc. Next, principle of simplicity. We perceive the simplest possible pattern because they enable the perceiver to perceive the whole form sum of its part. Next, principle of contour. The contour is said to be boundary between the figure and its background. Next, principle of context. The perceptual organization is also governed by the principle of context. For example, an examiner may award higher marks to the same answer sheet in pleasant context than in an unpleasant context. So, according to the context, someone is getting higher marks and someone is getting lower marks in the same content he or she is writing. So, concept according to context, the marks is differ. Next, principle of contrast. Perceptual organization is very much affected through contrast effect as the stimuli that are in sharp contrast to nearby stimuli may draw our maximum attention and carry different perceptual effects. Next is principle of adaptability. The perceptual organization for the same stimuli depends upon the adaptability of the perceiver to perceive the similar stimuli, means how the perceiver is perceiving, or according to the adaptability of the perceiver, she is perceiving the stimuli. An individual who adapts himself to work before an intense bright light will perceive normal sunlight as quite dim. Next, I am coming to the next cognitive process, that is intelligence. So, intelligence is a general capacity of an individual consciously to adjust his thinking to a new requirements. It is a general mental adaptability to new problems and conditions of life. Intelligence is the aggregate or global capacity of an individual to act purposefully, to think rationally, and to deal effectively with his environment. Next point, I am coming to the influence of heredity and environment on intelligence. Today, researchers generally agree that heredity and environment have an interactive influence on intelligence. Many researchers believe that there is a reaction range to IQ, which refers to the limits placed on IQ by heredity. Heredity places an upper and lower limit on the IQ that can be attained by a given person. The environment determines where within these limits the person IQ will lie. Next, I am coming to the classification of intelligent or range of intelligent quotient. So, more than 130 intelligent quotient, we tell them very superior in intelligence. The range of IQ is 120 to 129. We tell them superior. Range in intelligent quotient is 110 to 119 is high average. 90 to 109 is average. 80 to 89 is low average. 70 to 79 is borderline intelligence, and 69 and below is extremely low intelligent. So these are the classification of intelligence according to intelligent quotient. Next, I am telling about the mental retardation. So according to the intelligent quotient classification, to whom we can tell that they are mentally retarded. Now, mental retardation refers to significantly sub-average general intellectual functioning. In the classification also, in the classification we saw that the average is 90 to 109 intelligent quotient. They are called as average intelligence. Okay. So here in the definition of mental retardation, they are telling that significantly sub-average general intellectual functioning resulting in associated with concurrent impairments in adaptive behavior and manifested during the developmental period. So during the developmental period, the particular person, there is some impairments in adaptive behavior due to the less intelligent quotient. It is called the mental retardation. So from my next class, I will start from the next cognitive process, that is learning. Follow my next class. Thank you.